Well, good evening and welcome to Tiger Talk. You're on to Hull and Back podcast and on Humble Wave Radio. And I'll need to press another button. I haven't done the thing right. There we go. Good evening and welcome to Hull and Back podcast and Humble Wave Radio's Tiger Talk. Good to be here. I've pressed the right button now, so you should all be hearing me in Radio Land and live on whatever streaming platform you're watching us on tonight. Buttons, I've got to press lots of buttons, and sometimes I forget to press the right ones. I apologise if I've delayed anything there, but we must say, first of all, thank you to the carmusgo.co.uk for sponsoring the show.
Looking to buy or sell your next car or van? At thecarmusgo.co.uk, we make it easy. We are proud to be your trusted local Hull business, with 5-star Google reviews from happy customers across East Yorkshire. We buy and sell quality cars and vans, all with a full mechanical check, MOT and warranty included. So call in and see us today at Rugby Street in Hull, or visit us online at thecarmusgo.co.uk. We buy, we sell cars and vans.
Yes, if you're looking to buy or sell a car or van, then contact thecarmusgo.co.uk. Good evening, James.
Good evening, Eddie.
Evening, Jan.
Evening, Eddie.
Evening, Becca.
Good evening, Eddie.
Evening, Chris.
Good evening.
And evening to you, Paul.
Good evening,
Eddie. We'll all be very happy on here tonight.
Are we?
Yeah, very happy.
Jan, are you happy?
Very happy. I was there both games.
Yes, you were there both games and a long trip down to Southampton, but you will have stayed in 5-star accommodation overnight, so that don't matter, does it?
The Holiday Inn. It was nice.
Yes, very nice, very nice. Some of us may have to stay in that dodgy B&B down the road, but you, Holiday Inn, Jan, 5-star luxury. Anyway, let's get on with the show, people. 2 good wins for Hull City on the road since our last podcast. First of all, Southampton, and then last night at Preston. There's a lot to like about this Hull City team at the moment, James.
Yeah, there is. It's shaping up to be a really outstanding season. I mean, I know we've said this kind of all season so far, but we're beating the bigger teams in the division. You know, the parachute teams. We've done the double over Southampton. I think that's the first time since the 1950s we've actually beat them twice in one season. And Preston obviously up there with us in the playoff race, and beating a team like that has been really hard to beat at home all season. It's just, there's lots of love, lots of character about the team, loads of grit, and we can play in so many different ways. I can't say a bad word about any of them on the pitch at all. And, it's been a really, really good January for us.
Southampton game first then, James. Tell your thoughts to that one to start off with.
Yeah, so obviously we go 2-0 up in the first half. I thought...
That worry you a little bit?
No, I didn't think so, to be honest. It felt really controlled. I mean, there was a couple of moments where it was, a little bit hand in mouth, where Southampton, that they're a dangerous team, and when they've got balls coming in around you all over the box, they had quite a lot of corners, and they had some dangerous balls going in. A few fumbles we had where I don't know if it was the first or second half, Panda had to make that triple save, but there was a few of them moments, but. After that, I mean, they scored that goal, but I still felt like we was in control for large parts of the game. It did not feel like we really... I mean, we didn't really get out of second gear, if I'm being honest. We scored the 2 goals and then we saw it out. It was a really well-worked defensive performance in the second half. We stuck in there, dug our heels in and didn't let them really get at us. So, yeah, not much more of that to say from me.
Right, Jan, you was there, so let's have your view of Southampton to start off with.
I didn't feel as comfortable on Saturday as I did last night. Yeah, but they had loads of chances, didn't they? If they had them shooting boots on, they could have been, it could have been a much different game at Southampton. But no, it was absolutely fabulous. I mean, I'm not going to say, the last time we played there, that first half was probably the best football I've seen for a long, long time from City. That one when we won 2, did we win 2-1? But I just have to say this as well. I did tell you it was going to be 2-1 last week, didn't I? So I got that bit right. But
You
I was nervous. I had to wait and watch it again when we got home because it's never when you're sitting on 2-0, 2-1, and you've got a team as good as they were against you. It's not enjoyable. I mean, obviously it was enjoyable. It was fabulous, but it's nervy, isn't it? But the fans on Saturday and again last night were just awesome. That they just never stopped singing and getting behind the team. So yeah, it was fabulous.
Good to hear. Becca, Southampton for you.
Southampton was, I can see exactly where Jan was coming from. You know, we took our chances really well. You know, the stats, when you look at them from Saturday, completely opposite to what we really saw. The City took every single chance they got. 2 really good goals in the first half, and we did well. I think, like you say, if Southampton had had their shooting boots on Saturday, it could have been a bit of a different tale, but we've caught some of these teams at the right time, fortunately for us. So I'll take that. It's a big 3 points against a big skull, so we've done really well.
On a good run at the moment, Chris, and that Southampton game, helped that run. How did you find the game against Southampton?
Well, to be honest, because of the press conference on Thursday and there was the talk of the 11 players not going to be available, I was really worried that
me too,
we was going to get turned over. I just thought we're just not going to have enough. You know, he's talking about 15 academy players having to train with them and fill the bench. So I just thought, I thought it was going to get turned over. And then when I was watching it, and obviously the commentators were saying about how much possession they normally have in games, I thought it was going to be maybe similar to the Middlesbrough game, where we just have to batten down the hatches and try and get them on the break. Or when we got the ball, we was just, clearing it away from our goal. But surprisingly, it's obviously something that the manager spoke about in those sort of games that we've had recently. When we had the ball, we did more with it. We kept possession and a bit more intricate passing and worked our way up the pitch. So, but yeah, otherwise I'd be repeating what the other guy said. So I was definitely surprised with the performance and ecstatic with the performance. It was fantastic.
Yeah, very good performance. Good win away at Southampton. Beating them twice in a season's brilliant. What's your thoughts, Paul?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit sort of 2 halves. I thought first half, like Jan said, they had chances. They had the shooting boots on. It probably could have been 2-2 or even 3-2 to them. I don't know. They had a bit of possession, but second half, I thought we sorted out really well. Even though they scored in the second half, I was never really worried they was going to get a second. And I like to say about Joseph, last season he doesn't score that goal to me. He takes a touch. Somebody comes across and stops him. This season is a different player. Whether it's the McBurney influence on him, whether it's the manager, whether it's a bit of confidence, I don't know. But he never scores that goal like last season in a million years because he doesn't take the shot on. And he took it on straight away. Really good goal. You've got to give the lad credit. He's come on this season a hell of a lot. We bought him, what is it, 2.5 million or something, and everybody thought, what a waste of money. Well, this year he's proving that he's worth that sort of money because he's doing really well. Yeah. He scored 7 goals, and he took that chance really well. Again, McBurney lays it off. McBurney's seems to have got back on Saturday and last night to the old McBurney. I thought against Blackburn he was poor, and he maybe just needed a few games after his injury to get back. Same with Miller. Miller was really good on Saturday and he was really good last night. So they just maybe needed a couple of games under the belt. But I think Joseph's goal was, a really good goal. Well worked. Well done back Barney. But I think Joseph has come on leaps and bounds this year. And I think it was a good display all round, to be honest. I never felt him that bad.
Nice to get a goal from a corner as well. Charlie Hughes popping up and getting a goal from a corner. Good corner in. Hatzimatovic, he did a good corner in there. The corner deliveries sometimes aren't the best, but if he gets it on point, then there's a good chance we're going to score from it. There's obviously been working on set piece a little bit, and although I heard you saying, Chris, that they had 15 first the under 21 sort of training down there and all that lot. To be fair, it was a pretty strong lineup that we put out on Saturday. It was definitely a first, nearly a first team squad. Obviously, injuries come into it, don't they? And you never. We've sort of said we've only seen them together for a few minutes on the pitch, I think, where you would say that, Balumi, Miller and McBurney is your front three. We've only actually seen them on the pitch for a few minutes together, haven't we? So it's not been like what you would say is the strongest front three, but it's good that we've got these people who can come in and, you know, do a job. And Sergei, to be fair to him, did say that strength in depth, it'll be a big thing, you know, and all these players are going to get the chance. And it's proving right now that all the players are getting the chance. And, you know, they seem to be taking the chance as well. You know, is it Famwo? Do we say? You know,
for me,
I always say it, James.
Right.
James, you're the best at
you had it spot on, I think, Eddie.
Famwo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Famwo, I thought had a good game on Saturday, but he had a really, really good game last night. And I wouldn't have started him last night, if I'm really honest. I'd have started Matty Jacob at left back last night, but I thought he was really good last night and a really good game. He obviously scores a really good goal last night as well. So I'll give him a mention for Saturday because I thought he had a really good game. And I think Hudson Matovic is getting better as well. You know, he had a good game Saturday. He also had a good game last night. And, you know, they're two that I'd like to sort of mention to start off with. So, you know, good game against Southampton. They've obviously covered this on Sunday's podcast, so we won't go too much on Southampton. Last night, I thought I was in a little bit of a dream world, to be quite honest with you. It was a little bit like, wow, this is so good. And Becca reminded me earlier. Becca sent me a message last night, and I didn't read it last night, but I was too sort of high, Becca. So I have sort of hearted your comment to me today. What can I say before we get into the Preston game, apart from go on, David Akintola, son? What a run that was, and what a ball in that was.
I owe Uncle Dave an apology.
Come on then, James, I'll let you go for it.
Yeah, so bless him. I mean, he worked so hard last night, and he really made me eat my words. And I was really gutted when he came off injured, to be fair. I know it's only a bit of cramp, but I thought that's the best game he's had for us, and we've probably seen the best aspects of his game there, where he's you know, we broke on the counter and he's used some absolutely blistering pace to get down that pitch.
Really. Who knew he had it?
I know, exactly. I didn't know he had that in the tank, and the two touches he made, so he could keep running at full sprint just to put that ball across for Miller. I mean, it was a brilliant bit of play. So, I mean, yeah, he truly has really made a mug out of me from that play, to be honest, considering I was calling for his head the other day. But no, it was, I mean, first of all, I wanted to say, anyone commenting about our pitch at the MKM, he swept the pitch at Deepdale. It looked like an absolute quagmire. How they was playing on that surface, I've got no idea. I mean, you know, it makes ours look like a golf green. But anyways, so, and just sort of, but yeah, it was a maul in every sense of the word. That's the only way we can describe it, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, Miller, I thought was absolutely excellent. Like, say, Famua had an absolutely brilliant game. And I agree with you, Eddie. I absolutely would have had Jacob starting, because I thought he really played his socks off against Southampton. But, yeah, no, the defensive performance was absolutely brilliant. I thought we could have easily had 5 or 6 goals in the game.
Yeah. I agree. That was the thing that I was going to say on tonight's pod, to be honest, James. The only frustrating thing, I think Sergei touched on it in his pre-match interview, post-match interview, where he said, you know, the only thing is we could have scored 5 or 6. So that's the disappointing thing from it, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And I can't tell you how long I've waited and wanted us to have a techie little Japanese player, but Yu Hirakawa, what a little baller he is. What a little baller he is. He was absolutely brilliant. I thought he left absolutely everything on the pitch last night. He was so good. But yeah, and then just to touch on, obviously, the scenes at the end of the game, I put a bit of an expletive tweet out about Osmajic. I'm not going to repeat what I said in the tweet, but I think he should be banned from playing in England after the antics he's been up to since he's been playing for Preston, you know, with Hannibal and the biting of Owen Beck, and then what happened last night. He's just a violent player, and I just don't think he belongs in the English game, to be honest. He's had too many chances now, and you know, there's obviously a bit of argy-bargy from the coaching staff. I don't really know what started it all off, but Salatovic seems to be always on the wrong end of the
It wasn't him, it
referee's
was
card,
the
doesn't he?
goalkeeping coach. I think it was the
Yeah, it was
goalkeeping coach.
Bosca.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well, he got a red card against Southampton, didn't he? So I thought he was in the bad books again. But yeah, no, I'll let someone else have a go now because I've had a good whack at that. I think
we'll come to it in a minute. I forgot to put the comments on tonight, so it's a few comments coming. So let's come to Jan in a minute once we've had some of these comments. Louise says Super Sergei strikes again. What a signing Hirakawa is. I'm going to call him you because it's easier. An assist on his debut. He's going to be a great addition to the team. Well-deserved win and 100% teamwork. I've got to agree. I think you is a great addition. There's been a lot of people saying they don't know why Bristol City's let him go. I have no idea. He looks a great signing. Jan, the loyal fan, is what Lee says, and he's right. You are a loyal fan, along with you, obviously, as well, Lee. You're a very loyal fan. Oliver says, was really gutted for Akintola when he went off last night as he put in his best performance for us so far. Hirakawa was excellent replacement, though, and made a cracking start. He certainly did. What do you think about Miller not celebrating his goal? I've got no problem with Miller not celebrating his goal, to be honest, Sarah. I think it's good respect. Yeah. And, you know, some of our players that have gone from Hull City maybe need to learn a bit of that respect. Jacob Greaves. Lee also says nervous last minutes at South, last 15 minutes at Southampton. We've got a big up Simon Gray. I don't know why, but there we go. We'll do that one. Akintola deserves his place. He might not have his place. I think he's picked up a bit of a bad knock from the sounds of it. He may be out now because of that knock that he got last night. I don't know. Over to you now, Jan. You was there at Preston. You said about the supporters getting behind the team and singing all night. I mean, the atmosphere at the end must have been outstanding last night.
It was. It was absolutely great. I mean, I too need to hold my hands up and apologise to Big Dave or Uncle Dave. I still think he's a big part player. I don't think he can do that game in, game out. But it's good to know you've got that in reserve if you do need him. I mean, somebody messaged me last night and said, who's your man of the match? And I said, I would like to pick one. I really wouldn't like to pick one. It was hard to pick one last night.
It
really was. I think they all put in an absolute shift. You know, we battled from minute 1 to the 90 minutes. You know, and even when we were 2-0 up, 3-0 up, we closed them down, we pressed, we didn't take the ball in the corner and try to waste time or anything. I think the guy from Bristol, from what I'm reading and hearing, they don't play with wingers, so that's why he's in and out of the team and not have many minutes. But it looks, you know, we've all been saying, as you already said earlier, that that's what we needed, you know, one of these guys, these Asian guys that we've seen in other teams that just seem to be so fast and skillful. But it was absolutely great. I too would have played Jacob, so it shows what, you know, what
we know now, do we? We know nothing.
No, absolutely, I mean, I know
obviously, if we go back a little bit, Super Sergei does.
Yeah, but I mean, we're going to be without Shemi, and it says they might be looking for a centre-back cover now. Well, do we need it? Because actually, however you say Akin's name, he's a centre-back, really. And then we've still got Cathal McCarthy. And so I
thought, to be honest, you know, when I saw this news about Semi Ajayi, we might talk about that a little bit later because I'm a bit mad about it, if I'm honest. So, I'll probably go off on one of my little rants, as I always do. But when we saw last night McCarthy come on, I thought, do you know what? He can cover for him.
Yeah,
he don't look out of place in the championship.
And Lunny can't he as well?
Yeah,
I mean,
so I think you know,
as well.
Be all right. Say again, James.
There's the Bayo to come in as well. We've just signed that young
lad. The guy from Leeds.
Yes. And you know what? I reckon Big Dave can play there as well.
Big Dave probably can play there.
Smash it.
So you know, we'll come to the Semi Ajayi injury a bit later on because I think we'll talk about that in a little bit more depth. But yeah, I'm happy. I think, you know, the defence, when you see last night, you know, obviously John Egan, I think he's just got a bit of cramp in his hamstrings or something, is what they've said. So hopefully Egan will be all right for the weekend. But I don't have a problem if, you know, McCarthy has to come in. I think, you know, McCarthy can play there. He doesn't seem to be fazed by it, which is really good because that's the main thing when you're 19. Can you handle the big stage and how you're phased by it. So I'm pleased with that. I just wanted to say before I was looking at Twitter. I look at Twitter not as often as Jan does. I mean, Jan's probably spends a life on there, and I saw well, you do, Jan, don't you? I saw a Preston fan that had said that even at 3-0 up, we was still going for it, and apparently that's not Hull City's first choice team. So it was a little bit of a laugh, was that, to be honest. I thought that was good coming from a Preston fan last night, and that sort of sums up the game. I think it's our best performance of the season, don't you, Becca?
Absolutely, it's the best performance we've had since probably Sheffield United away last season. We controlled the game really, really well. And when we was 3-0 up, like, we absolutely could have gone on to win that 4-5-0. We just panicked a little bit, thought we didn't have that half a second we had to actually take a decent shot. Miller could have easily had a second in the second half, but fantastic, absolutely amazing. We did really well. As getting a clean sheet as well is a massive plus.
It is a massive plus.
We've conceded as many goals as well recently, so we've done really, really well.
Not looked at our goal difference. I might get the championship up in a minute and have a look and see what the goal difference is. But yeah, I was pleased. I definitely thought it was our best performance of the season, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest. Unfortunately, I was working last night, so I didn't see the game. I've just watched the extended highlights today. It looked a great performance. Just on back of some of your comments, Adi, what you said, what do we think about Miller not celebrating? He might not have celebrated his goal, but when McBurney's went in, he bloody helped him celebrate. And yeah, I mean, it just looked a great performance. You know, Miller could have had a second. Joffrey could have had a couple by the looks of it. McBurney had another chance before he scored. So it looked a great performance. And if it was anything like Sheffield United away last year or Southampton season before that, then, you know, I'm gutted that I missed it. Looking forward to the next game on Saturday. And we've got, is it something like 8 out of 11 of our next games are at home, something like that, including the FA Cup?
Are we at home all of February? Am I right in saying that?
No, we've got Blackburn away.
Blackburn away.
That's the 31st, is it?
Yeah,
Blackburn away, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a big month is February with a lot of home games. You enjoyed the game last night, Paul? Yeah,
I think it was by far our best display of the season, without doubt. I don't think there's any doubt about that. From minute 1 to minute, whatever it was, 90 odd, it was just brilliant. And we, you know, as he said, we probably should have scored more goals. That's if there's a downside, but 3-0 away from home at Southampton, ex-Premiership, you know, you're scratching a little bit to say it's a downside, aren't you? You know, you'd have taken 3-0 any time of the year, wouldn't you, against Southampton? I just can't understand this Bristol City thing with this you, because Preston, I mean, this you business, because if he's that bad that they're getting rid of him, how well must the other players be? Because I can't believe they've got rid of him.
Well, it can't be that well.
It didn't suit their system.
You'd make the system suit him a little bit, because he's put a really good ball into Matt Bairney. He's all over the place. I can't believe they've got rid of him, especially I could maybe understand Sheffield Wednesday getting him, but us, we're a rival, aren't we? And he's a good player. I just don't understand the logic behind that, but it's up to them, I suppose. But yeah, it was a brilliant display. I thought Amir played really well. He seems to be settling in quite well now, to be honest. And obviously, the rating before the season started, and he's coming through now. We're really good. And Joffrey, I just can't understand it. He's been off for how long? Is it 6 or 8 weeks? You wouldn't have thought he'd been off for 5 minutes when he come on. His feet's fast. He's taking people on, controlling it. He was outstanding. I thought in the time he was on. I know he's a good player, but you think, he might need a few games to get back up to it. But he was spot on when he came on, was Joffrey. As you said, he could have had a couple of goals. Really good display. I agree. It's not the sort of end of the displays, let's put it, because I think we've got a really good chance of getting automatic promotion this year in the team we've got. If we can just get these 1 or 2 injuries back in, I just don't see how anybody's going to stop us the way we played last night. It was unbelievable.
Can I just say as well, just what you've said, Paul, you can't understand like us getting this guy from Bristol it just backs up the conversation we had about the fantastic recruitment in the summer. We've brought him in now from a direct playoff rival. Who knows what we've got in store for the next couple of weeks before the window closes.
Well, we're hoping that nobody's
Collier's
going out, I
supposed
think,
to be
is the
coming,
thing,
isn't
isn't it, Chris? Somebody was, who was saying about Collier? Was it you, Beckham, before we came on?
Yeah.
He's injured, is he?
Took a knock to his car.
Yeah, he's having a medical next week, I think.
Right. Yeah, we are +6, fourth in the league, 47 points at the moment, doing really, really well. I think Ipswich are also doing very well at the moment. They've moved into second place now, but when they came to the MKM Stadium, I thought there was the best team that we'd played this season, to be quite honest, when I watched that. So, yeah. Lee says, yes, I like what you've done there, Lee. It's very good. Having you on the pitch will enhance McBurney with his game. He thrives off those crosses in the box, especially with Giles out. I agree totally. And the atmosphere at the MKM has got to be better after what Sergei and the players have done. They need everyone behind them to be loud and proud. And over 20,000 tickets sold for Saturday. It is a cheap game. It's £15, I believe, if you're an adult, if you want to get a ticket for Saturday. So, you know, if you do want to watch that game, then you can do. It'll be hopefully another good display by the team. We have got some players that have come back, as you say, Paul, at the right point now, with Joffrey coming back, Lundstrom coming back as well. So 2 players that are coming back to us. Hopefully, I think that Carl Joseph, from listening to the interview, should be fit for Saturday. It was just a little bit precautionary last night, so that gives us a little bit more strength in depth. And if you've not had your email or not seen the socials yet, then they have released information for tickets for the FA Cup clash against Chelsea. And they're going to go on sale to members from Monday, the 26th of January at 9:30. I think you'll get about 5 days to get your ticket in your seat looking at this. So you'll get a bit of time to be able to get your seat and secure your seat. Me and Jan are going to have an argument at this point, which is going to be really fun for anybody that's watching. So if you are watching,
you're wrong.
Listen, Jan, there's one thing that I got told yesterday, and that was the truth, that it's more or less that I'm always right. So that was by somebody else, not by me. And they did more or less, they definitely said to me, I am right more or less all the time. So what I'm going to say to you is, if you're going to watch this game, you are going to have to get rid of those January blues, pay off your credit card, get out of your overdraft. We are all stinking rich. So £34 it's going to cost me to go watch Hull City versus Chelsea, because I'm in zone 3. If you're in zone 1, you're going to pay 24 quid. If you're in zone 2, you're going to pay 29 quid. They are all adult prices. For you oldies like Jan and Paul, you're going to pay in zone 1, 16, zone 2, 19, zone 3, £21.50. Why, Jan? Well, I'm sure it is, because you're only having to pay £21.50. Why am I?
I'll pay 34 if you want me to.
Well, you'll pay my 34 and I'll pay your £21.50 then.
I will do. I'm quite happy
Why
to do
am
that.
I paying £34 as a season ticket or a member to go watch a game against Chelsea?
Because in the days of, well, even now, if we were back in the Premier League, the games would be graded, wouldn't they? So you'd have Category 1 games, Category 2, Category 3. And I'm sorry, but whether we like it or not, and I know we live in a demographic where we haven't got a lot of people with a lot of money, but what we pay for our tickets is cheap. It really is. And so, you know, it's done us, in some ways, it's done us a disservice, because they're so cheap. When they do charge a realistic price, people start to complain. But my answer to people usually is, well, I'll tell you what, just have one less pint or whatever, because what they pay for pints on the concourse, we don't drink on the concourse. So we're saving ourselves 20 quid there.
Well, I don't drink on the concourse either. I do think that,
No, so have one less drink and you'll be all right.
It's very cheap at the Tigers Trust for a pound. It's nowhere near this £34. If you're a non-member, by the way, to sit where I sit, which is E7, you're going to pay £44 to watch this game. £44 in Hull. That I'm afraid, whether you agree with me or not, Jan, is an absolute disgrace from the club. It's an absolute disgrace from the club. And, you know, John's come out this week and he's on his 4th year. He's giving away 400 tickets to NHS workers, for emergency service workers, all things like that. Great, well done, John. But, you know, John, look after your members more. And I've said this before, you can't take 200 people to Turkey, which probably, you know, would cost an awful lot of money in the 5-star hotel, on the flight and all that lot, and then charge your members 34 quid to watch a game in the cup. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. And it's really bad by the club. I'll obviously buy my ticket, and I'm very lucky I can afford my ticket. There'll be a lot of people out there that are struggling for money, and they might have to decide that they can't afford to go watch Hull City versus Chelsea in the cup because of the bad pricing from the club. And I think that that's absolutely ridiculous. And whether you agree with me or not, and I'm sure there might be people that are watching that don't agree with me, but it is totally wrong to be charging that amount of money, especially when you look at the last one. The last one was £15. So to go watch Blackburn, it was £15. It's more than double to go watch Chelsea in the cup. I went to that game. He's not done anything for me for going to that game. In fact, he's just said to me, well, hold on, Eddie, you went to that game. Thanks a lot for that. I'm just going to have your trousers down and bat your ass a little bit and take some more money off you for going to this game. And I'm sorry for swearing on the radio, but that's how I feel about it. I'm very disappointed with him as an owner. And I'll go back, Jan. You was talking about we're very cheap. I was paying 30 quid a month under the Allams. It's gone up 12 quid since he's come in. I'm now at 42 quid. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it shouldn't be that way. And I'm very mad about that. He might even get a little email off me, to be quite honest with you, because I'm not mad about it. It's used to him, though, isn't he? You often email him, don't you? Do you know what, Jan? I've never actually emailed him. The last person that I emailed was Adam. The last person that I emailed was Adam Pearson. But no, I haven't emailed this owner. I didn't email the Allams, but I'm mad about that. I think 34 is a rip-off. I really do. I think it's taking the mick out of your loyal fans who come week in, week out to support you. I'll put it out to you now, James. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree with Jan. Actually.
Okay. You tell us what you think.
I just think they're going to be expecting a sellout in the stadium.
Yes, they are.
Whilst it is expensive, I do agree with you. It is on the pricey side, especially for your members. But I do think we are in a position where we do need to bring in a bit of money. And I think he's going to take the opportunity where we're going to get a sellout. And at the end of the day, there's going to be fans coming to the stadium who probably don't actually attend every single game or aren't members, or they go.
Well, look after your fans who aren't attending these games, James. Yeah, if you want to charge somebody more, charge the people that don't come to games more. Don't charge your members more. I pay 21 quid to go watch a game in the Championship.
Non-members. It's more, even more. You're not a member.
It is even more. But what I'm saying to you, don't rip your members off. That's one thing you don't do. You don't rip your members off. It is because I pay 21 quid to go watch a game, Jam. It's charging me another 13 quid to go watch this game.
You're going to watch Chelsea. You're not going to watch.
Listen, do you know what? I said this yesterday, and it frustrates the hell out of me, does this, Jan? I am not going to the MKM Stadium to watch Chelsea.
I know you're
I'm
not,
going to watch Hull City. No, it doesn't. I'm going to watch Hull City. I have no interest in Chelsea at all. I'm not bothered who Chelsea bring. They can bring the B team, they can bring the A team. I am not going to watch Chelsea. I'm going to watch Hull City. And that is the only thing I'm interested in is Hull City. I'm not bothered about Chelsea. It could be Crawley.
If the dream becomes a reality and we go into the Premier League next season, your pass will probably go up.
Listen, my pass is going up again next season, whether we go up or not, because it's such a rip-off there.
But the games will be graded Cat 1, Cat 2 and Cat 3, I would assume, right? They always have been. As a member, you won't pay any different because you'll have the same price for every game. Those that are choosing to pay per game or have to pay per game, they're the ones that will end up paying the differentiated price. I just think we've got to stop saying we're Hull. How do they manage? I don't know. In some Middlesbrough in an affluent area by any stretch or anywhere around there.
No, it's not. But if you want to rip your fans off, that's the way to do it. I've seen some sayings, and I'm sure it says something like "one family, one dream." Rip off your family, might lose your dream. Go on, Becky, your go.
Do you know what? I think you have a point in the sense that it's too selective in how members get rewarded for the loyalty. You know, you made a good point there, Eddie. You paid £15 to go watch Blackburn, which was pretty boring, dull, rubbish football. You're going to pay £34 to go watch and play Chelsea. £49 the club has had out of your pocket as well as your membership fee. Where is the reward in being a member for the club when you've already paid to watch an awful game? And I think that should be there for all members that went to that Blackburn game and people who actually paid. If they don't, whether they go normally or not, it's a massive shame that the club have not rewarded that loyalty. But it's something they do anyway. Like you say, they take 200 people to Turkey every year. Quite often, it's some similar faces that get out on those trips. It's becoming boring. It's becoming old. This one family, one dream doesn't sell at all.
No.
Stop being so selective in the way that you're rewarding members.
I agree.
Do something actual and substantial, and sure, one family, one dream.
Chris?
I'm a bit on the fence. I can see.
Don't get splinters in your backside, Chris.
I think you've persuaded me though, Paul. Eddie. I was thinking more along the lines of James and Jan, but when you said, we're Hull City fans, we go to watch Hull City regardless of who the opposition is. I think you've swung me more. It is more expensive. The only thing I can think is, the club's obviously had meetings about it to decide what they want to do. We are going to be favourites to go out. We're going to be the underdogs. So maybe they're looking at it as it's the last. We've got a big draw. You're going to, people want to come. It's an opportunity to put some money in the coffers. And the cynic in me thinks it's a little bit of, pleasing the FA on the FFAP on the financial fair play thing because of our history and overspending. It's an opportunity to get more money into the club. That said, like I say, I think they could have put the prices up from the standard average price for a membership, but maybe not as high as they have.
I expected 25 quid is what I expected. When people was asking me, I said it'd be about 25 quid for this game, which I would have been happy at 25 quid. I think 34 is taking it a little bit too far. Paul, you're the only one that hasn't had a comment on this, so we'll come to the comments that people have put on the side after you've had your say.
Well, it is a lot of money, but I think it was to be expected. It's Chelsea, and I don't go to see Chelsea, but they're a big club, they're a big draw. And they're obviously, as Chris said, we're favourites to go out. We may not. If we play as well as we did last night, Chelsea have got a bit of a leaky defence. You never know. But we are looking probably at going out at that stage. They'll probably put a decent team out. And he's trying to make some money, And it's a bit lucky in a way because, Akintola scored the penalty, didn't he?
Yes.
If he misses and we don't go through, we don't get this big payday. But he's got it. So I think he's making the most of it. 34 quid is a little bit over the top, I think, but you knew it was going to be a lot more, and because they want to get as much as they can out of a big payday. If they'd had a team who they fancied to beat, it would have been a lot less. It's the Chelsea part of it has brought it up because they know a lot of people want to go, and it's a big payday.
But
for them,
is that punishing your loyal fans, Paul?
Well, it probably is, but they're always going to. Cup matches are always the same. They're going to. If it's a team that they're not going to be in, like Blackburn, it was low once. I thought it could have been low for the Blackburn game, to be quite honest.
Could have been a tenner for Blackburn. I was talking to a pupil who don't go to the games, and they said to me they didn't go, but they said if it had been a tenner, I would have gone. So he lost out there because he didn't charge the right amount of money for that game. So if he's he can't get the pricing right, and he could do with some. I've said this: the Allams fall foul of this, but I think he's falling foul of it. He could do with somebody to actually give him some good advice because I don't think he's getting it. I think he's getting the advice from the wrong people, and I think he needs some advice from the right people because he ain't getting these things right. He ain't getting these decisions right. And whether all I can say is that if people are thinking that 34 quid to go watch Hull City in the cup is okay, then there's a lot of richer people in Hull than I am, and a lot of richer people than I know that go watch Hull City. So
I don't think it's okay, but you knew it was going to be high. As I say, 34's probably going over the top a little bit, but they're just trying to get a bit of money in. As Chris said, maybe to make things a bit happier. It's just one of them things. Luckily, we aren't playing Chelsea every week, are we?
No. Liam Rosini already getting people on social media mocking him for no reason. For no reason. Is he one of the many reasons? I'm not reading that right, am I? Liam Rosini already getting people on social media mocking him for no reason is one of the many reasons I like how under the radar Hull City is. That's Sarah. Lee says City done it very fair for the cup game. Well done to City. I disagree totally, Lee. Oliver says, what do we think about potentially deregistering Balumi, Matazo and JB to free up spaces in the squad? I think I'd definitely be tempted to free up two of them. I'll come to your comments in a minute, guys. What do people make of the new way Tiger travel is going to be from Blackburn Rovers? I think that's regarding the stewarding that Lee's going on. We'll talk about that again in a minute. Adi, we have one of the cheapest tickets in the Championship. We need new supporters also. You aren't going to get new supporters, Chris, by charging them prices. I can tell you, £44 to go watch Hull City. No new supporters are going from that. I talked about it last week. I'm sure it was last week where I said that the Alams would give some free tickets away. And from them giving free tickets away, this 4 season pass holders that have gone for around about 15 years to the MKM Stadium, and that's how you do it. It's not this way. It's not how you do it. I can tell you that. Both clubs have to agree the prices. I'm sure they do, Lee. But it's still, it's still far too much, and it's only because the London team pays more for their tickets, and we've implemented a London price in Hull. You're seeing more to see international world-class millionaire players. That's why it costs more. Exactly that.
Eddie, if you look at their last, I know they played Charlton, which are a Premier Championship team. I only recognise, I think, maybe 2 normal first 11 players in that team he put out, and that was Chalobah, and I forget the winger that was signed from Man United. I can see his face, I can't see his name. The rest of them were players or under 21.
Not Garnacho,
yeah. There was a couple of strongish players on the bench, but his first 11 had 2 of, and maybe not even first 11 normal players, maybe squad players.
Zocco,
I don't agree with that.
Zocco, Chris, I don't agree with you. You're not going to see them world-class players because he's not going to play them against us.
I ain't really bothered about their world-class players.
And that's exactly what I said. I'm not bothered about seeing Chelsea. I just want to see Hull City win. That's all I want to see. When I go to the MKM Stadium, that's what I want to go for, is to see Hull City win.
They've only got one.
Ian says, I can understand why it's a 50-50 split on takings, so have to put prices up to cover costs. And Oliver says, I have splints in my backside, as I can absolutely understand both sides of the argument. Your anger and frustration is valid as a member, but the club will see capitalising on the interest. And I do get it, Oliver, I do, but I'm frustrated as a member. I think they need to treat members better, and they aren't treating members well enough. Some members they are, but most they aren't. David Akintola is very quick, says Nathaniel, and he's right, yes. Very quick, Nathaniel. In 2 FA Cup games, you've paid less than you would for 2 league games. So 15 and 34 is 49.
49.
I'd pay 42 for 2 league games. So you're wrong, Jeff. There you go. That's all of those comments done. Let's go back up to a couple of these. What do we think about deregistering Balumi, Matazo and JB to free up squad spaces, James?
Yeah, I was a bit concerned about it when I first heard that was potentially going to happen, because you think Balumi potentially in the playoffs might be a match winner for us. But then when I'm actually considering the injury record and what could potentially happen, and that he comes back and maybe gets injured again, and then it was a waste of a a space in the squad when we could have had someone who come in and have an instant impact. I do just think, and I think Matazo's had another setback as well, so he might be back in March, and by that point, you know, again, he needs to come back up to speed, could have a hamstring injury, and then be out for the rest of the season. I'm under the impression that JB, was he not registered as an under-23s player, so he doesn't actually count towards the squad numbers?
Not sure.
I'm not 100% sure on that one.
We need Joe to tell us that. If he's watching, Joe might put us a comment up. Carry on.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But yeah.
So I don't really, if he is, I don't really know why JB's been thrown into that mix. But in terms of Balumi and Matazo, I think we should. To be honest, I think we need some players who can come in and make an impact now. And unfortunately, they're going to be a victim of their injuries. I
agree with you, James. Jan, your say?
No, more or less what James said. Really, at first I thought no. But then when you think about it, for exactly the same reasons that James said, they're going to come back. Chances are Matazo will be re-injured. Balumi's got a shocking record, and if JB needs surgery and it's 12 weeks post-surgery, I just think we need to trust the club to do what they think best in consultation with the medics and everybody. So I have no issue with it.
Over to you now, Becca.
Yeah, we've seen too many knee-jerk reactions. Some players coming back a bit too soon this season. So I think I'd rather see them rest, come back into pre-season strong, fresh, ready to hit the ground running with the rest of the squad. Balumi and Matazo, if we are fortunate in the position that we're in to go up, they'll be invaluable next season in the Premier League. So, or whether we are still in the Championship, we need them fighting fit and fully fit, ready to go.
Chris?
Yeah, similar to Becca. If JB is first team and not under 21s, he's the one that leaps out at me to say definitely yes. I think Sergey said in an interview that he'd had his surgery at the weekend. So you're looking at 3 months from now. So you're looking at right at the end of the season. And we know if you've been out for that long, it's going to be managed minutes. So I think he's deregister him if it's possible to then bring someone in. The other two I'm unsure of. I'm hoping Balumi with this one. I saw a social media tweet the other day. He was on an exercise bike, so he's already well into his recovery. He might be back sooner than we thought. And I think he's had two obviously injuries since he came back from his ACL. So you're hoping he's put the worst behind him. Matazo just seems to be having setback after setback. So again, he's the one where I'm leaning more towards if it's possible to deregister. The problem being, we're being told that it's not only 1 in, 1 out on squad size. We've got a salary cap, haven't we? So we're only allowed to spend so much. So what if we deregister them? Do we stop paying the wages? I don't think that's the case. No. So I can't see the EFL, even if we are exploring it, you might save some money on maybe bonuses from appearance bonuses, goal bonuses, clean sheet bonuses, that sort of thing. But you're still going to have to pay the basic salary. So I don't know how much money it's going to free up to allow us to bring anyone else in.
Paul?
Well, same as everybody else. I might even think about Ajayi, to be quite honest, on that list if I was adding anybody. Because, he's had a couple of injuries this season. They said he's going to be out for 8 weeks, which takes you to what? Probably end of March is time. There's only April to go, isn't there? Is he going to get his place back? I don't know. And if, we've just said we've got cover for him. I don't know. But if you can't do it, it doesn't free up, to get people in. It's not worth bothering about realistically, is it? You only need it if you can get somebody in and the wages aren't going to be affected.
Williams and Casey Palmer out. They're big
earners, that's going to be a big thing.
Then it would. Yeah. Then you'd have the places and the money.
Yeah.
Ajayi, you've just mentioned Ajayi, Paul, so we might as well. We've got 7 minutes left, so we've got a couple of things to talk about over these 7 minutes. We'll talk about Saturday's game in these 7 minutes as well. But Ajayi playing in that 3rd versus 4th and getting an injury, that makes me a bit mad, James.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pointless game, isn't it? I mean, who cares who finishes 3rd or 4th? I mean,
nobody.
It sounds to me as if in these international tournaments, the whole reason why they have this extra game is purely just for the ticket sales of the game and for nothing else. And the income they'll generate on concourses and selling, merchandise and food and drinks and whatever. But it's the most typical City thing I think I've actually ever heard happen. The last minute of a game in a third place playoff in an international tournament, which has a game with nothing riding on it, and it's the game before, well, the last game before he's going to come back into the team, and he gets injured in the last minute of the game. It just you couldn't write it, could you?
No, it's very, very annoying, Jan.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe we should have said something as well to them. When he went for the friendly the first time just before the AFCON, and we said, they'd had a discussion about how they were going to manage his minutes. I think maybe, hindsight's great, isn't it? But maybe we should have said something about, when you get to those like meaningless games.
Yeah.
Then I wonder what the ticket prices for them were, really.
I wonder what they were. Yes. No, I can't say that. Carry on, Eddie. Becca, your go.
Just think it's really disfortunate for us. It was a pointless game, and I don't understand why the club didn't step in and do something to control whether Ajay played even a half or came off the bench. He's had a really good run in the tournament as well, which is such a shame for it to end that way for him. But
got in the team of the tournament, didn't he? And for it to end that way, it's bad. Come on, Chris. Now I'm going a bit quicker now because we ain't got too long left.
Yeah, I just James said it perfectly. It's a dead rubber game. Why they insist on doing that third and fourth place, I don't know. So, nothing more to add.
Yeah, and you, Paul.
The only thing is, he is a bit injury prone, isn't he? So when he got injured for us, that's the sort of worry with him. But I don't see why they played him in the third and fourth game. I don't know why they have one. Like James said, it's an absolute waste of time.
And we'll go quickly on Lee. We'll go quickly on Lee's point here. What do people make of the new way Tiger travel is going to be from the Blackburn Rovers away game? They're going to have stewards on there. Have you had any problems on any Tiger travel that you've been on, Jan?
No, and we're always on coach 1, coach 2 sometimes, but coach 1 never, ever, not once. And I think I'm quite saddened because we've got some voluntary stewards that do some of the coaches, but obviously they're not all stewarded. I just think they've been a little knee-jerk, and they should have spoken to some of the regular travellers and asked them what they thought.
Another way that they're not thinking about their members and stuff like that, Jan, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of in that respect. I mean, it's not something. I mean, I have some thoughts and I can cite some examples, but not on a forum like this. I don't think it's fair to anybody.
No.
But I think that the way that it has been managed historically hasn't been the best. I mean, when was the last fans meeting, or when was the last meeting with
I think this is the big problem with the club at the moment, Jan. They've lost sight of these things, and that's not good. We're doing really well on the pitch at the moment. It's going really nicely on the pitch and stuff like that. Sergei's done really well this season. I think also, the signings have been really good this season. So there is some really good things going on with the playing squad, but they seem to have lost sight of the fans at the moment. And it will only take so long before things start to turn and don't go right for them. So, this is why I'm saying that he could do with somebody to give him some advice, because whatever he's doing is not the right thing at the moment where it comes to fans. I mean, fans will come through the door while you're winning and you're playing well and stuff like that. But when you're not winning and you're not playing well, that's when you lose the fans. And that's when you need to be interacting with fans groups and things like that to try and make, try and find out what they can do to be better is what I would say.
Feel as though you're being listened to, Eddie, as well.
You do.
I mean, sometimes you have to sort of take a hit, don't you, to please the bigger majority. And I just feel at the minute that's not happening. But just a hardcore of regular away people that go on the coaches, they should have spoken to some of those. And the price went up, and we all kept saying, how come it's more to go to Blackburn than Preston when Preston's further? And then a week later, they tell you why. That was handled wrongly as well. It's just
it was disgusting.
To be fair, I mean, I think it's since Tan Kessler left the club. I don't know if it was his idea to have they used to have the meetings where there was a couple of representatives from each stand, but I know he was usually present at them meetings. And it's since he's gone that sort of thing seems to have fallen by the wayside.
Yeah, I had them because John goes on behalf of the OSC, but I think
they just had them less frequently.
The last one was cancelled, but I mean, I do think they were a bit of a talking shop, and I understand that they wanted to restructure them so they were more purposeful. But yeah, it's just a little bit of kind of an afterthought at the moment, or as fans in general.
You only need to look at Tottenham at the minute. It seems toxic, and they're saying the same things, that they're not doing everything to keep the fans on side, and you just pray to God that doesn't happen.
No, you pray to God it doesn't happen. We've only got a minute left on the forum. We're going over time tonight. So I'll quickly go around. Swansea on Saturday. James, score prediction.
2-0.
Jan.
I think a draw, but I hope a win.
Rebecca.
3-1.
Chris.
2-0 win.
Paul.
Yeah, I think 2-0, yeah. I don't see up against that.
I'm going to say a draw again, because last time I said a draw, we got a good win. So I'm going to say a draw. It bodes well for hopefully a win on Saturday. Thanks for all your company tonight. Thanks for all of you watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully, you've enjoyed me having a rant again. I'll try and have a rant every week if I can for you. We'll be back next Wednesday for 7 o'clock here on Tiger Talk on Hull and Back Podcast and Humble Wave Radio. Thanks to you, James.
Cheers, Eddie.
Thanks, Jan.
See you, Eddie.
Cheers, Becca.
Cheers, Eddie.
All the best, Chris.
Thank you. All the best.
See you Saturday, Paul.
See you Saturday.